It got so much hate. I could never write to market. This is a real lesson for authors, for writers, for creatives. I ran an ultra marathon almost exclusively to that album, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Bri, I write books. I'm currently working on my Project Lost, which is a speculative archaeological thriller. I'm vibing it as like Tomb Raider meets the Da Vinci Code, and I finished the first draft, so I am working on, I guess, going back through mapping the entire novel and then looking at draft 2. So that's exciting. This is a bit of a rogue video, and I thought I might get people be like, what the hell are you talking about? But I just thought, I feel like this is really helpful, and I just want to know if I'm the only one. I feel like I learned a lot recently about writing and my novel and the craft and just being creative because of, don't come at me, Hilary Duff and Taylor Swift's new albums. I don't know if you're coming for me, but I know, okay, that this is not like cool artsy music or whatever, but whether you like them or not aside, that's actually not the point. I don't know if I should reveal my stance on them because I don't know how much judgment I'm gonna get. I've actually really enjoyed them, okay? Not the point. People have, you know, Taylor Swift is massive, isn't she? And her newest album, The Life of a Showgirl, has been controversially received because it was long anticipated and all the Swifties are going crazy and people, you know, really wanted to see what was on it, and there was potentially going to be all this tea and all this drama, and then it comes out, and my opinion is it's actually a great album because I feel like the standard of songs across it is pretty consistent and that all bops. And also for the point I'm at in my life with like young kids and being tired, I actually don't need something like Tortured Poets Department right now. I'm very happy with it just being bops and easy listening and nothing too like crazy, but whatever. People were disappointed. Now, I think it's worth pointing out that when Tortured Poets Department was released, it got so much hate. People hated it. They called it word salad, word soup, and then it's grown to become one that people really love. And I think Taylor stood behind this Life of the Showgirl album, and I think this is a real lesson for authors, for writers, for creatives about our work, because you might have people who are die-hard like behind you, and you can always produce something that isn't their cup of tea. And even if you love it and you've had the best time making it, like she said about her album, it might not be for everybody, and that's okay. Then there are going to be people who maybe weren't big fans, but like, you know, I'm not a raving Swiftie, but I really quite enjoyed the album. I've listened to it a lot. I ran an ultra marathon almost exclusively to that album, guys. I know that probably makes me insane, but I did. And like, I think I found it really freeing as well to be like, stuff doesn't always have to be the most high elevated literary product in the world. It doesn't always have to be your absolute best work in like the canon of everything you've ever produced in your lifetime. It's okay to put something out that you had a great time making, you care about, you've done the best job with it you can, you've made it the best storybook, or if you're not a writer, even poem, piece of art, sculpture, whatever it is that you possibly can, and put it out into the world. And that is really cool. And there are going to be people that will review it badly, be disappointed, be like, oh, I was expecting something great and this isn't it. There'll also be people who are like, wow, this is cool. I'm having a blast reading this, consuming this. And similarly with Hilary Duff, you know, like she's like a millennial icon, and she was very like teeny bopper, and she's put out this album, and my husband could get on board. He's very musical. This is not his genre at all. I'm not calling him a fan, but he could get on board with the Taylor Swift album in terms of production and stuff. Not so the Hilary Duff one, but I stand behind. I've really enjoyed her album, Luck or Something. It's obviously different from stuff she's released before. And again, like, other than maybe like nostalgic millennials who are Hilary fans, have not been into it necessarily. She's also received a lot of criticism for the kind of actual elements or lyrics, or however you want to call it, references in some of the songs. But for me, it's like, whether you like it or not, and I do, and that's not necessarily relevant, but I do really enjoy it. she's put something out that is about her and where she's at, and this is her art right now. And whether you think it is great music, which, you know, on the scale it's not going to be, but whether you enjoy it or not, she has done that, and that is what she wanted to create. And there'll always be people who love it, who will love anything she does, like some of those people maybe who grew up as fans of her and they're really behind it. There'll be people who detest it and it's not for them and they slate it. And there'll be people in the middle like me who surprise themselves by enjoying it and being like, you know what, this is cool. And again, it doesn't have to be the world's best music, but I'm having a good time. And I just found, I know this is really rogue and random, but it felt very freeing for me, because for a long time I didn't write. I did a literature degree, and I think you can read all the greats and you can think, what is the point? I'm never going to write like this. I'm never going to write this well. Everything worth doing has been done a million times over. It's such a hard industry to break into. What is the point? I think being afraid of putting my work out there as well, like I've only just started doing that as part of the Jericho Writers Ultimate Novel Writing course that I'm on, and getting feedback. And so far it's actually been really positive, but whether it is or it isn't, you know, whether one day I get to put a debut novel out into the world and there are people that are like, oh, like that's really not for me. This writing isn't for me. This character isn't for me. This genre, this storyline, whatever. This is what I'm having fun with right now. And as long as I make it as good as I can make it, and I feel like I stand behind it, I think it's really worth doing. And you know, our art is, without sounding really wanky, but our art is never going to be for everybody. It's not supposed to be. And that is okay, because in order to connect with some people and for it to become a part of them, like, you know those books that just sit with you, whether they're like life-changing classics or whether they're just like really fun reads that just live rent-free in your head forever because of a particularly vivid character or something cool that happened. Like, for your book or your art to ever do that for somebody else, there have to be people that pick it up and are like, whoa, yeah, not my vibe, or like, this isn't for me. So yeah, I hope I'm not alone in this and these musings. And maybe if you really detest those albums I talked about, I hope you can see how they were catalysts for this thought and for kind of freeing me from this expectation, I guess, that you have to write to a certain quality and standard and you have to constantly be concerned with what other people think. This is not to say that I'm so naive to think other people's opinions don't matter, because obviously if you're creating art and sharing it with people, it would be a lie to say we don't care what people think. Obviously you want it to connect with some people, and you want, you know, hopefully you can't have a career as an author if people don't buy your stuff. It's not saying that, and obviously these things are industry, so there has to be a market. I'm not saying those things are irrelevant, but maybe I'm just really naive and like idealistic about this, but I just think like it's got to be first and foremost about having fun with the process, creating something that, you know, comes from us for whatever reason, whether it's really deep and meaningful, whether it's fun and just like cool and a little bit of you that you've put out there for other people to have fun with too. I think that's worth something, and you kind of just need to forget about the reception while you're going through that process. Once you've made the thing, you can tweak and you can make sure that you think it's going to serve the people that you want it to serve, perhaps. But like, I could never write to market. I have to have a story come to me that I can throw myself into and pour out. I just think we need to like just accept there are, even the biggest celebrities in the world can make albums and get absolutely slated and mocked and criticized, and they still stand behind it and they're like, I'm happy with this. And I think that is so cool. So let's just write the damn thing and own our stuff, and at risk of sounding like a bit of an emo teenager, and is it that it's Hemingway, isn't it, that quote, like, writing's easy, you just sit at a typewriter and bleed. Like, let's do that. Let's do more of that. Like, in this world of AI where people are just depersonalizing everything and too lazy to create and come up with things and think and go through the labor. Like, those of us who actually want to write and make art and do things, let's just liberate ourselves from all of the expectation and uniformity and blah. Anyway, I'm being a wanker now, so let's move on. But yeah, I hope that resonates. Thank you. If you made it this far, drop me a musical notes emoji or something in that vein, just so I can see how unhinged you think I am. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. See you in the next one. When my days end, I must just fall.